the splendor and majesty of nature's cathedral. I'm just out for a walk today. I'm checking out this part of the woods here where I'm going to thin out some trees, and I just can't help but notice, you know, creation on a day like today. And I thought maybe I'd make a short video just describing, I guess, how it's good for us, our natural selves, to be out in nature. Hear that wind? I don't know if you can or not. The founder of the style of karate that I do is called Shoto, which means House of Shoto. Shoto was the pen name of the founder of my style of karate. He was also a poet. He originally came from Okinawa, Japan, and he went to the mainland Japan to teach and spread his style of karate. But where he was in Japan was very forested. The pines, there's a lot of pine trees. So he would go out and sit in the trees on a windy day like today, and it would remind him, the sound of the wind in the trees would remind him of the ocean, the waves on the ocean. And that reminded him of home. So Shoto means pine waves. And it's kind of an amazing thing to just kind of stand and behold. It's just, this is God's creation. This is God's choir for today in this particular cathedral here. I mean, look at the ground. Watch your eyes. I'm moving this way now. There's 3 feet of snow everywhere, and it is gorgeous. I don't want to blind you there, but the sun is really coming down. I mean, isn't that beautiful? And then I pan into my car graveyard here, and that's not so nice looking. I think I'm losing my footing here, but I'm just going to keep trudging along anyways. I feel it's vital for men to just come out and experience this stuff. If you can't do it when it's a crappy day out, you can sure come out when it's nice. I'm like literally up to my knees in snow right now. I'm looking for these birch trees. These are too young, but there's some over here. Those ones look mature enough to come down. The poplars have died out in this area now, and the little birch trees need to grow up. Need to thin out some of this other understory, but the birch trees will eventually take over again. Anyways, just a thought for today. If you're a man and you need to get connected with nature, if you need to get connected with it in the snow, and I don't mean on a machine. I mean, those things are fun, but that's not what I mean. I mean like getting out and getting into it. Put your snow pants on and go for a walk. You know, experience that beautiful day. It doesn't matter if you can only walk 10 steps and before you're out of breath or not. Just stand there and take it in. Listen to that wind. Listen to what God's trying to tell you. You know, and then in the springtime, things are going to be wet, but warm. Get out there, check things out, see life, new life growing. See the leaves coming out and the birds starting to come around again. And then in the summertime, you can go out and do all kinds of things. You can, you know, just get your feet in the ground. Get your feet on solid ground. There's nothing better for you on a material level other than, I think, karate itself, on a material level, for connecting you to nature. But at the same time, I don't mean that in kind of like a Wiccan kind of way. I just mean that we were created for this. We're meant to be this, in this. We're not meant to be hooked up to Oculus. We're not meant to be, you know, sitting there playing video games. You know, I don't know how long, 2, 4, 7 hours a day. I don't know. I don't play video games. I don't get it. I guess maybe I come from a different era, but when I was a kid there was no internet and video games were pretty basic, and I honestly was never really into them that much. I was much rather be out here, you know, being away from the madding crowds, as one commenter mentioned one time, to have a chance to listen. We listen for God's voice in the wind, especially if you're in a state of grace. And then just through the trees and over the hill, there's the mountains. Manhood is definitely being connected with this. There's no better way to bring peace to your soul on a material level. I mean, rigorous exercise, yes. Training, yes. But being connected with what God wants you to be connected with on a physical level. If that means digging yourself out of the snow because you drove through something too deep, get out and dig it out. Don't be a wuss. It's not that big of a deal. Snow isn't that heavy. Don't have a heart attack, but you know, there's another way to get into shape is just to come out here and just to stomp through this stuff. You don't have to go to a gym. I mean, I'm talking in my personal point of view from where I am, but I mean, anybody can get up off their butt and go outside and do stuff outside. Literally anybody can do that. There's always time in the day for it. If that just means that you've only got enough cardio to get yourself around the block once, good, but try again later that day. You know, try and push those limits a little bit. I mean, yeah, sure, I rode a machine out here, but there's limits that I have too. I mean, I can't walk through stuff like this for a mile and a half. I'd be dead by the time I got to the end of it. So, I mean, there's occasions when you need to do stuff like that, but get out there, get in it, enjoy it, feel the sun on your face, feel the coolness of the snow. Listen to the wind, smell the fresh breeze. There is no smell of anything bad in the air, it's just sweet. And just listen. Catholic Northman, out.